Okay, here goes your 5-minute Trig worksheet number 1 recap. Section 1 problems, just setting up the ratios here. So when we go cosine A, sine A, tangent of A, remember we are letting SOHCAHTOA do the work, okay? And so when we go from cosine of A becomes the vantage point right there. And from there, we know that we have 6 is the opposite leg, 8 is the adjacent, 10 is the hypotenuse. And then as we set these up, cosine of A, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Therefore, it's 8 over 10 simplified at 4/5. Sine of A, opposite 6 over hypotenuse 10 simplifies down to 3/5. Tangent of 8 or tangent of A, opposite 6 over adjacent 8 simplifies down to 3/4. The only thing in number 2 you need to add Pythagorean theorem is what gets us that value right there. Now, looking at each one of these problems, sometimes the variable's on the bottom, sometimes the variable's on the top. So let's take a look here at number 3, 28, because it's the given angle. Let's just make that our vantage point. We're letting SOHCAHTOA do the work for us. So to solve for x, which is AB right here, I'm looking at the opposite, and I'm given that 17, the adjacent. Therefore, it's the tangent function. Tangent of 28 equals x over 17. I multiply both sides by 17. For y, which is this side length here, AC, I set it up. I have my adjacent 17, but that y is the hypotenuse. So the trig function that's going to set that up is cosine. Cosine of 28 equals 17 over y. And as a reminder, to get rid of that y on the denominator, we are going to multiply both sides by y. That's going to give me y times cosine of 28 equal to 17. And now I'm going to divide both sides by cosine of 28. When I divide 17 divided by cosine of 28, that would give me that missing value there for y, which is actually 19.3. Now, the worksheet asks for BC, so if you put 17 here, that's also correct as well. But just getting comfortable with letting sine, cosine, and tangent, let the SOHCAHTOA do the work. If x is on the top, then you just multiply by the denominator and you're good to go. If the variable, like on this second one for y, is on the denominator, multiply both sides by that variable, divide by the trig function. Eventually, you will see a pattern. Here we go with number 4. Same type thing. When x is on the bottom, we multiply both sides through here by 15, get our value for x. That is 6.8. When y is on the numerator again, just multiply by 15, and we get our value for y, dE, at 13.4. And the same thing holds true for number 5. X and y are both on the numerator, and in 6, they end up being on the numerator as well. So there you go. That's worksheet number 1. If you are given an angle and one side length, let SOHCAHTOA do the work to set up the equation.